it's Crystal from Essentially Tarot. Welcome back to my channel for part 4 of our Oracle deck collection videos. I apologize, I still have some bad lighting going on. I waited a little late in the day. I'm filming videos back to back, and this is kind of the best I have to work with. I'm actually going to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump into part 4, and let me see what I have first. Okay, so first up, I have Messages from the Mermaids by Karen Kay. The artwork is by Linda Olson. I have been loving some mermaid theme. You can see my nails are mermaid themed today. I've been loving this deck. I was using it for a good while with the Dame Darcy Mermaid Tarot. Here is your little white book. You have your card, your keyword, just kind of like a little blurb here, a short message, if you will, and then a longer message that's, you know, I guess about a page and a quarter, more or less, or a page and a half. I did not really need the guidebook. I didn't really utilize the guidebook when I was working with this. I did edge it in like this. So, come on, focus. You can do it. I know you can. There we go. I've kind of edged it in this really soft gold, and I did not use the guidebook because I felt like it just read really well without it. Here's the backs, and here's the front, and you just get a nice big keyword, but I feel like it just worked really nicely to kind of clarify messages for me, and it as a clarification deck. It was just doing such a stellar job that I don't even think I really pulled out the guidebook once, because I was just really enjoying it as is. I really felt like I didn't need more than what I was getting on the card. I love that there is such a diversity in the mermaids. We have all colors, sizes, body types. I guess that's sizes. There's just a lot of diversity in this deck, which is funny because you think mermaids, I think a lot of people forget, like, mermaids can be diverse too. Mermaids don't just have to be, you know, supermodel white girls. We need a little bit of representation. Like, look how beautiful. So I think this is a really great deck. I've really enjoyed it. It's simple, it's beautiful to look at, it's well put together, it's well thought out. There's, again, a little bit of everyone. There's even a wizard. There's a little bit of everyone, which is important. And yeah, it's just, again, I can't speak to the guidebook because I didn't even touch it, which I think kind of says something for the cards themselves. They're smart. And I think that they kind of do what they need to do without having to dig further into the message. You can, of course, but I didn't feel the need to. So I really love this deck. And yeah, so that's Messages from the Mermaids. Next up, I'm going to pull out one that I know some people don't consider an oracle. Some people don't include it in oracles, but I'm going to, and it is The Universe Has Your Back by Gabrielle Bernstein, artwork by Michaela Ezra. And this is really, I guess, less of an oracle and more of an affirmation deck for sure. I do pull it out sometimes for my Oracle Card Friday just because it is so positive and it doesn't require a whole lot of additional reading. It sounds so lazy to say it that way. But because the cards, like, hope is a conduit for miracles, like, I can add to that, but it is kind of a complete message in itself, right? Which is nice when you're kind of doing like a quick, here's your card, here's your message. Some of it is a little repetitive, and I know a lot of people have had kind of the same complaints, is that there's a lot of like love, and then I will do this and love, and do that and love, and it's like they kind of added on to a message and just kind of try to circle it back to love a little too often. But I feel like it's still workable. I feel like I choose love no matter what. Okay, all right. I feel like it's still workable though. And I think that it's just, again, it's really positive. I think it's really uplifting. It is more of an affirmation deck. So right now, especially with things being the way they are, everyone kind of being stuck in their homes, everyone kind of feeling a little isolated and lonely and down, I think an overly positive message isn't a bad thing, right? Also, the artwork in this deck is just really beautiful. But like I choose to learn through love. Through the lens of love. I choose love. Love. Like it's just so much love. But it's okay. Again, I like it because it is so positive. I pull it out specifically for that. Like if I know that someone is going through a particularly hard time, or again, if I'm just trying to do an Oracle Card Friday over on my Facebook and I just want to kind of send people into the weekend with a little bit of positivity, sometimes this deck comes out. And, you know, I think people respond well to it. I think they enjoy it. And again, it's not, you know, there's not a lot of heavy thinking that has to go on. So I don't know if that's a selling point, but that's the universe has your back. Okay, next up, let's get into maybe some heavier Oracle decks. Let's work our way through. Let's work our way down. I have a couple of Lucy Cavendish decks. So this is the Oracle of the Shapeshifters by Lucy Cavendish. The artwork obviously by Jasmine Beckett Griffith. I love her. Now this deck is actually, I believe, published to be a teen deck, but I don't think that's fair. I think it's accessible enough to be used by teens, but I also think it's hefty enough in its messages to be used by just about anyone. So you see you have your card, you have your card name, you have the message, you have about the card, then you have the card speaking to you, and then the divination message. And this is a deck that I've owned for a while now. And when I first got it, it kind of blew me away with how accurate it was. I edged this in like a bronze, but for some reason it's like turned kind of gray-green on me. It's not looking so great. I wanted to match the backs. The backs aren't the best, I will say. They're kind of weird. But this deck is super accurate, super poignant and deep. And it's going to be like, hey, here it is. Here's what you need to know. You know, not in a way that's too aggressive or too abrasive, but in a way where you're like, oh, yep, there it is. Like, that's what I was looking for. I tend to use the Lucy Cavendish decks more for shadow work than anything else. I feel like they are a little too hard-hitting for just an everyday oracle. They are balanced, but I feel like they can tackle really difficult things. This one I would say is probably the friendliest of the three that I'm about to show you. This is probably the least jarring of the three, but it is beautiful. And again, it is kind of marketed to teens, but I don't, you know, I bought this for myself and I really enjoy it, and I don't think it has to be used in that lens. So that is the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. Again, this is a very honest deck, a very accurate deck, and one that I go to when things are maybe not so great and I need, you know, a bit of tough love, but not too tough. So that's the Oracle of the Shapeshifters. So next up, again, is another Lucy Cavendish deck. This is the Alice the Wonderland Oracle. Again, Jasmine Beckett Griffith has done the artwork. This one, again, is kind of a step further into that shadow from the Shapeshifters. Again, you get the title, the write-up on the card. You get like a little message here, and then this is telling you about the card, the divination, and then it gives you a reversed meaning for this particular deck. So these are the backs. They're really pretty. They're also not showing up too well on camera, but you can see my camera in them. They're kind of like an ombre effect. These I've edged in like this pinkish color. These are, again, kind of a step deeper than the Shapeshifters. These are a little more adult. And they tackle things with a heavier hand. Like here we have covering up errors, painting the roses red. Do not do things you know are bad for you. It's, you know, it's deep, it's heavy hitting. And the first time, I forget if it was this one or the next one, I might have been using them together. The first time I read with this, I got a message and I was like, oh, wow. Like it just kind of like sucker punched me right in the mouth and was like, hey, here's your issue. I'm gonna lay it out. I'm gonna lay it out on the table for you. Deal with it. This is what you need to be dealing with. So it's a little heavier hitting, even though it is Alice, so you kind of want it to be kind of cute and playful. She's kind of the darker side of Alice. Yeah, it's definitely, again, good for the shadow work, good for really diving into what areas of your subconscious need work, what areas of your emotional trauma you need to be paying attention to. Like, it's really good. So that is Alice, the Wonderland Oracle. Again, another Lucy Cavendish. I really do enjoy her decks. I know they're kind of everyone's seen them, but I feel like they just do their job so well. So the last one, I promise, the last Lucy Cavendish deck, oops, I'm opening it up back here like you can see me, what, is the Les Vampires. Again, we are moving from not so dark, darker to darkest. So here we go. These are beautiful. These are stunning. Here's your little white book. And oops. Oh, there we go. So again, keyword, the little message on the card. This one starts with the card speaking to you, the vampire speaking to you. Comes with a blessing, a curse, and it tells you how to work with the card. So you can read these reversed as well or in shadow as well. Here's the backings on them. And these are just so beautiful. And again, these are heavier. These are the heaviest of the three, I would say. So here you have like jealousy. Creator is not particularly heavy, but again, they're balanced. Courtesy, thoughtful, polite, good manners. Eternal youth, rebellion. I just feel like, again, this one's another one that'll kind of slap you and be like, hey, pay attention. Here's what you need to know. Here's what's going on. Here's this ugly thing that you need to look at a little closer. How beautiful is that compassion? So yeah, it is dark. It is deep. It is sometimes a little angry. Sometimes it's just like that death will come, mortal, finite, fragile. Sometimes it tells you things that you are definitely avoiding hearing, but it's necessary for you to hear. It is not for everyone. And again, I don't pull any of these out really on a daily basis for sure, but this is something that I pull out specifically when I'm in the right mindset to examine some of those darker, uglier places that hide within us. Like this is that deck that I will pull out for the more aggressive readings. Yeah, so that is Les Vampires. Again, I edged this one in like a copper as well. But yeah, they you know, they look kind of cute to the eye. You're like, oh, Jasmine's artwork I think is so cute, but not like it's cute, but it's dark. So I think it can be a little overwhelming and you can be taken aback by just how deep those decks go. So next deck that I'm going to talk about, I keep in this cute little bag that says slay all day. Ha ha ha. And let me pull it out for you. And this is the Wilderness Collide. Oops, oops, oh my goodness. And this is by, let's find, Amanda Lynn Hales. And her deck is available on Etsy. I don't remember her Etsy name. I'll try to figure that out and link that below. But look how beautiful this guidebook is. It's a short little guidebook. You get just the keyword on the card and a little paragraph. That's about it. These are the backs. I did edge mine in blue to kind of match them. And these are really beautiful. I do find myself struggling with some of them. Like Way of the Wanderer as a keyword, I can kind of intuitively go off of what that would mean to me, like the Way of the Wanderer, but you know, I might not be hitting the mark as far as what that card represents. On other cards, it's not so bad. Expel, I know what expel means. But here we have like the Rising. I see obviously there's a lion here, which makes me think of Leo energy, which makes me think of even the Strength card. So maybe rising into that strength, rising into that fire energy, but not the best use of a keyword or a title. But these are really beautiful. And I do have a hard time connecting with these. I won't lie to you. And I think it's just because I overthink it, for sure. I think like this whole high vibe, high energy artwork, for some people that really kicks their intuition into gear. For me, I feel like sometimes it overwhelms my intuition a little bit. And I know it's kind of silly because it's very similar in style to Danielle Noel and her artwork, but I feel like because the keywords are sometimes a little abstract, like Lover's Way, my brain kind of goes into overdrive and I start overthinking it. So, or like Little River. I think that's my problem. I think that it's something that I need to get past in order to work successfully with this. And I'm gonna need to come back and keep revisiting it time and time again, just because, I don't know, I just like this one, Rainbow Road. For me, when I first saw this, I was like, oh, how beautiful, Rainbow Road. I don't know, you know, and it's about grieving. It's about mourning. It's about, you know, in some cases, literal death. It's about letting yourself go through the process of grief and not letting anyone try to tell you that it's not okay to feel those feelings, not letting anyone pressure you to work through them faster than you need to. And I remember that now because I was like, oh, like the Rainbow Bridge made me think of like animals passing over. And that's kind of how I came to it. But to look at it, you know, grief isn't necessarily an emotion or a feeling that I'd put to this card, right? So yeah, it's me. Like, I think I just overthink this deck. But it is really beautiful. And it's one that I am gonna kind of sit with time and again, just until we get to that place where I feel good and I feel comfortable and we can be friends, because it's just so beautiful. So that is the Wilderness Collide. It has really nice cardstock. It's a thinner cardstock, but it is like a semi matte, and it shuffles really nicely. I do enjoy the way this deck feels. So that is that. And the last deck in this video. Unfortunately, this is a new deck to me, so I haven't worked with it yet to give you much feedback on it, but I thought it was so cute. This is the Legendary Ladies Goddess deck by Anne Shen. Now, the box is cool, but it feels, if you're like me and you just kind of grab things and go, like it's a little precarious. It's coming out if you just tilt that. But I don't know if you can see this, like even the inside of this box is beautiful. It matches the inside of this box. So here is your little white book, and you get the name, you get the key phrase, the place of origin, and then this little write-up on each of the ladies in this deck. So yeah, it's just the artwork in this deck is what really sucked me in. I do have other goddess decks, not too many, but this one was just, I think it might still be in order actually. This one was just so beautiful that I just got really excited about it and had to have it. So yes, I don't know. Again, I haven't worked with it yet. I am really excited to. And just how stunning. Aren't they beautiful? Like each card is just so beautiful. I feel like there's a nice variety of goddesses. You do see some of the more popular goddesses, like here we have Freya. But then you do see some, you know, maybe less known goddesses, which I love. I feel like there's just so many to choose from. The feminine divine is just, you know, across all cultures, there's just so many to choose from that, you know, sometimes it gets tiring seeing the exact same goddesses in every deck, but I just thought this was so beautiful that I had to pick it up, even if I didn't need it. There is a book that goes with this. I forget what it is called. I don't think it's called Legendary Ladies as well, but there is a large book that goes with this that is equally beautiful that I need to get my hands on. These are the backs. I haven't edged them or anything. But yeah, I'm really excited to work with this, and I don't know, it's just so pretty. So that is the Legendary Ladies Goddess deck. Oops. All right. Thank you guys for hanging out yet again. Please be sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, give it a good thumbs up. And I look forward to hanging out with you in our next video. Have a great day, you guys. Bye.